Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Today I'm going to be complaining about this device. Of course, this is the Macbook Pro 2017 version. It's a good device, but it's not a perfect device now. The new design starting from 2016, Apple has made it thinner, in fact very thin, and this thing is gone, of course. And then the controversial keyboard, butterfly keyboard, and so on and so forth. So today I'm going to be complaining after using it for many years, let's say 2 years. This is 27 version, so obviously 2019, it's been 2 years. Okay, so what happened is before this I was using the 2012 model. It's little thicker, but it has all of the necessary port here, so it was very convenient to use. But this 2017 model, starting from 2016, they've removed all the ports except for USB-C. So why is it so bad? Well, a lot of the device which we still use today, everyday device, like a USB pen drive, it's still USB. Or let's say my sound interface, recording interface, it still use USB. And the thing is that I just cannot throw away all my old stuff just because Apple removed all the ports. Now this was a very annoying thing, because every time you have to plug in some stuff like generic stuff, then you have to use a dongle to plug it into the laptop. So in one of the videos about how a 2019 updated MacBook Pro should be, they said it should be a little, just tiny thinner, and then that should be fine with all the features, blah 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 and so on. To which I said, no, it doesn't need to be thinner. In fact, it should become a little thicker so that it'll accommodate all the ports which we used to be there, and Apple should bring back all the ports which used to be there up till 2015. It has a full-size HDMI, a full-size USB slot obviously, and then you have the LAN connection, and then you have the card reader, and so on and so forth, obviously with the MagSafe. Now the thing is that some Apple fanboys, they say you don't need a dongle, you just use a Wi-Fi device. Well, I said I wanted to, but most of my stuff, generic stuff like a USB pen drive or a card reader, doesn't have Wi-Fi. SD card doesn't have Wi-Fi. Obviously there are some cards which has Wi-Fi, and I wish I could, but USB is not going to go away anytime soon. Or I think people will keep on using it for another 10 years or maybe 15 years or 20 years, because it's very convenient, it's widespread all over. And then this fanboy said, well, then you buy a Wi-Fi storage device unless you are very poor. I was annoyed because the thing is that a Wi-Fi portable is not very portable hard drive. In fact, it's not as portable as a USB pen drive or neither an SD card. And you need power, of course. Some have a battery with them, so you can set it up, but it's not as portable as a USB pen drive. And the other thing is that I was talking about the sound interface, which has a USB connection. I cannot store anything on a USB interface. The thing is that it just transfers data, it doesn't store anything there. So this Apple fanboys doesn't understand what it is, just that they like Apple products. They're just fanboys, and they're just typing comments without even thinking or without knowing what I'm talking about. The other thing is that SD card is still widespread. A lot of independent movie makers, they still use an SLR or a mirrorless camera, and they still use SD card or SDXC. And the thing is that it's not going to go away anytime soon too. Like a Hollywood movie producers, they're not going to be going around carrying this laptop. They have a huge truck which they can put all of the big monitors and full-fledged system. These things will be carried by only independent filmmakers, or a sound recording artist will be carrying around stuff like this. For those people who actually needed the SD card reader or the USB connection, it's not there. That's why it's a big problem. Now the other thing is obviously the keyboard. The keyboard is a big pain because obviously everyone knows the dust problem. Butterfly keys turns out to be caterpillar, big problem. So I don't have to delve into that one. It's bad. Let's just put it like that. The other thing is the the screen. Now this is in Indian rupees a very expensive 2,20,000 device. In a laptop like this, I didn't expect the monitor or the screen to have the scratch mark of the keys here. In cheap laptop devices where all the bodies are made with plastics like 20,000-30,000, you can understand because those are made cheap with all plastic part, they flex. But on an expensive device like this, I never expected that the scratch mark or the key mark, should I say, will appear on this one. So it's like when you close it, the key starts rubbing on the screen and it started making all these weird shapes, key shapes and stuff like that here. Now the 2012 model Macbook Pro, it doesn't have that problem. It's a little thick, but this device, it has it. I don't know what about others, but it's there. I'll show it to you. Now the thing is that Apple has to stop thinking about making thin laptop, but rather think about making laptops which are practical in use. A device has to be practical. It's not only about look, and this looks good, but practically there's lots of problem. And if Apple doesn't fix this, a lot of people, they're going to move away from Apple. And in fact, a lot of people have already moved, and it's still moving away from Apple device. For people, for professionals, those who are using device or laptop or equipment, it's all about productivity, not about look. Look is secondary to productivity. So if Apple doesn't fix this, and if they keep making thinner and thinner laptop, more beautiful but not practical, then Apple is going to face a big problem. Anyway, laptops, computers sales are already going down, and if it is not practical, I think people will just move on. So that's all about it. Thank you so much.